When I think about Southern culture, I feel like a large swath of the country looks at our region and thinks, man, they're all dumb, racist rednecks. And that's not the South that I know. I know we have our issues, and I don't try to hide from that. But I feel called to shine a spotlight on the positive things that are going on in the South. My name's Chris Thomas, and I'm a friendly Southerner. I was born right here in Nashville, Tennessee. I mean, we grew up out in the country, barefoot, running around, down to the pond to go fishing and, you know, riding dirt bikes and chasing coonhounds. And I mean, we did all of the traditional redneck things. And I loved it. I married my high school sweetheart. We have 4 little people running around our house, causing chaos, and they call us Mom and Dad, and they're awesome. Our house is bananas, but we love it. I say good gracious all the time. Good gracious. I mean, I say that constantly. And I absolutely probably overuse y'all, and to the point where some people are like, it feels like you're trying to, and I'm just not. It's just the way I speak. So I spent 12 years with a guy named Dave Ramsey in running the national advertising department for his company. I knew when he hired me in 2001, I told him, at some point, I know I'm gonna have to go create something. And he was awesome. He was like, hey, I get it. When you're ready to go do it, go do it. And that's the best answer you could ever hear. Ultimately, that was something that I knew, it was inside me. I had to go try to create something for my own. And my mom had passed away in 2011, unexpectedly. And I've always lived here, but when she passed away, I started digging into my heritage. And so I found out, you know, my grandmother and grandfather both were born in Tennessee. My great-grandfather was born in Tennessee. And so we figured out, it made my kids 6th generation Tennesseans. So that was this new discovery for me that was like, wow, my family has roots here. We've been here for a long time. I love the idea of a slow Southern lifestyle. I love the idea of sitting on a front porch with a cocktail and friends and listening to bluegrass music. Like that's a perfect night for me. But learning that about my family's history just renewed that love affair. So we started as a subscription box business. We wanted to find people who were making things in the South that we thought were awesome. Buy their stuff, put it in a box, really well designed, ship that off to people all across the country. And it would perpetuate this growing sense of we need to care about where we're spending our dollars. The box business is tough though, man. I mean, to this day, I think I'm allergic to cardboard. Like I break out in hives. I don't really, I'm just making that up. It's tough. When you're packing 500, 600, 700 boxes, you get sick of it. But we did that for 3 full years, 14, 15, and 16. 2015, early, people started saying, hey, you need to consider like an event where you get all these people together. And we'll come out and we'll meet them and we'll buy their stuff. And I was like, man, that sounds like kind of a fun idea. So we decided to do that. We called it Made South Market. And so we invited 80 different makers from Virginia and Texas and everywhere in between. We invited a bunch of people to come out and buy tickets to that event. We had bluegrass music on the front porch of an old house, and we had hot chicken, and we had a whole pig barbecue roast and cocktails, and a couple thousand people showed up. And it was freaking crazy. Like we had never done an event before. We had no idea how to do that. We just said, if we were gonna go to something, what would we wanna go to? And it was crazy. I mean, I couldn't believe the cars just kept coming, and we were like, we left there with this thing of like, okay, well maybe we need to stop doing boxes and just throw parties for a living. We have a healthy business. It is growing, but golly, having children and starting and running a business are those two things for me that have been two of the most fulfilling things I've ever done in my life, and simultaneously the two hardest things I've ever done in my life. It is, it's not for the faint of heart. If you know that there's something inside you that you have to do, you can't tell that little voice to shut up. It won't be quiet. It won't go away. It doesn't matter how comfortable you are doing whatever you're doing. If you know for a fact that you have to go create something, you gotta go do it. You have to do it. Again, it'll be one of the hardest things you've ever done, but it will also be one of the most fulfilling things that you've ever done. And it will give you so much freedom, you can't put a price tag on it. You have to go do it. I mean, I think our focus will be creating more events, different events that still fit with what we do. They're still promoting the best makers, food, drink, music, and art in the South. You know, anything that can tell the good stories of the South, the people who are making awesome things here. And if we can keep our light bills paid and our kids fed, and if we can start to build a team that is passionate about this stuff, man, I'll set the world on fire. Like that's kind of it for me. I love that stuff.